What is up, guys? This is Fruit Crunch Starcraft, bringing you his 6th cast. I'm not going to count the tutorial casts in my casts. But anyway, this is going to be a diamond level... Hey, that's a weird ass symbol. Looks like a dead Zerg fish thingy. This is going to be a diamond level game on the C server, Southeast Asia. On Metalopolis, between Ezkaton spawning in the 12 o'clock position, and he is going to be against HickelStine, the blue Terran, spawning in the 9 o'clock position. Did I say right, Protoss? This guy? I think I did. Anyway. He's going to be chucking down his Splatter at 10 and Pylon at 9 for the probe. Now these guys are liking their early APM spam, so they might both be good players. I know it's not really that much of an indication of a good player, but generally the higher level players like their good APM spam. I'll leave it on production. So Terran not going to bother scouting after finishing that Splatter depot. He's just going to go straight ahead building that barracks, and Protoss scouting with the usual pattern. There. Should be checking the watchtowers as well. It's always a good thing to see if the Terran hasn't flown off to these gold. Okay, so now Terran scouting at 13 or 14. Taking one off, no gas yet. Protoss just starting his gas. And the gateway, making sure he keeps all his buildings nice and close to the nexus, because you don't want to get them snapped off from the sides with Terran big balls or something, and then a scan on the high ground just to snap off those stray pylons that I say here. Like, sometimes I guess it's good to put a pylon there or maybe one there so you can warp down on the low ground and you can get closer to your enemy's base. Probe doing some little probe harass trying to kill off that SCV, but he's just going to be straight repaired. I mean, how much does repairing cost anyway? At the cost of resources, yes, okay, but how many resources? Anyway, I think it's like, what, 25% of the actual cost to repair it back to full health, so it's not going to be costing much. Okay, now here's the Marine out. We'll see if you can... I don't think you'll be able to pick up this probe because there's no wall off here. The probe can just get out now, if you wanted to get out now, that is. Yes, okay, here comes the second Marine. Almost manages to block the probe from getting it. Might actually get it. Oh, nice. He got it with that second Marine just popping out. Now the SCV scouted into the base. The cybernetics core there. The second gas going down at 19 just as this cyber core finishes. Nice. Want to get that gas to make sure you can be able to reduce all the necessary things. Now, Protoss has actually skipped that first Zealot, just going straight for the chrono-boosted Stalker. Wants to kill off that scouting SCV as soon as possible, but he'll probably get it out of there just in time for it not to die. So that Terran is actually somewhat ahead. But okay, now turning that into a command center. Terran getting down his second gas. I think that Stalker, that Stalker can easily pick off this SCV with control. Yeah, you can get it. He's faster. Good old Protoss Stalker's big faster. Alright, 3 Marines guarding the front, going into a factory after that, and getting a single tech lab to finish this wall off. Don't know quite yet what he's going to do with this tech lab. He's not researching anything. He might want to go for Reapers. No, he's building that obviously for the factory. Sorry guys, sorry. I think this is up to the latest patch, or 1.2.1 maybe. But I mean, there was nothing for 1.2.2. That was new anyway. So Protoss getting out that Stalker Zealot Sentry combo and getting close to finishing warp gates. Getting that 2-gate robo, one of the safest opening against Terran. And keeping his chrono boost low, chrono boosting them probes. And now he's going for tanks and siege tech early after only getting a few Marines. I don't think he's going to try to do just a siege tech Marine push. Maybe he wants to expand with that, but we'll see. I guess if you want to expand, you could just go one base. You could just go barracks, one barracks with a few bunkers and Marines. But we'll see. Maybe he wants to push right now with his siege tech finishing up soon. Now this SCV making sure that the Terran knows everything that's going on, but we'll get chrono boosting out, or not chrono boosting, getting out 2 observers. And Terran thinking, no, that's not a good idea. There's 2 warp gates and a robotics currently at work, which would be easily able to hold up this little force with a siege tank because he could just quickly get out an immortal. So now he is going to expand off 1 factory 1 barracks. I'm going to fly that down to the natural. Going to keep Protoss in the dark for as long as possible, but here comes the observer. Going to see everything with its Protoss map packs. Siege tanks sieging up to have that good defense. Now there goes the 3rd gate. So actually going for the 3rd gate rover, but sadly is supply block. You should be squeezing another probe out of that. I mean, get the most out of your supply block. If you're going to be blocked anyway. Keeping 1 observer here with him in the base. Not exactly sure why. But I guess he doesn't need it at the moment. In case Terran is going to snipe this one off, he could send it to the next one. There goes the bunker, just to make sure that expand is completely safe. Now, Protoss not actually keeping that pro production up too well. Got to be doing that now. Protoss tracking down and expand now as well. Since he's seen Terran starting to go for his own expand, but Terrans will be earlier now. Terran actually going for that Infernal Pre-Ignited, the Blue Flame Hellions. Now Terran getting supply blocked as well, and not squeezing out another SCV from his supply block, but anyway, might be trying to do, might be getting, since he's getting that Infernal Pre-Ignited, I'm guessing he might want to try and do a Hellion drop, maybe in the back here or here to take out some, or just get Hellions and run by the rest of the forces, and kite the Zealots and things like that. Hellions are just really good with that Blue Flame. So good against his SCVs and probes and things like that. Now getting an engineering bay, he's turning that into a command center. You might just want to be getting them upgrades. Keeping them upgrades up is always good. Protoss getting a 3rd observer. Or did the other one die? That was around here. I think it did. Yes, it did. Alright, Protoss getting a 3rd observer. Going to be sending in that to Terran's base, and just finishing that immortal, getting the other observer for his army. So these 2 immortals are, and Garrett was quite good, and now finishing up the, where is that robotics? The robotics facility. Yes, the bay. Finishing the robotics bay for Terran. Can obviously see it with a scan, because scans are much bigger than this thing would actually show. Okay, he wants it for the missile turrets, I guess. So observers can't scout the front. But that's why it's always good to not have your observer. He should move that back. I think it'll live though, even if it takes a few hits. Should be able to. Okay, no, that goes down. Waste of an observer. You should always try and make your observers come in, take like a path like through here, and then maybe come in around the back. And always be aware of where those missile turrets are. Getting a 2nd factory and a factory reactor are going to be pumping out double Hellions from that. Triple factories. And just a floating barracks, why not? Getting them Colossus and that Thermal Lance out, always good. Great against Terran. Colossus, just so good. Now, he should be continuing that pro production. Alright, there he goes. And off this one as well. So it's good to keep pro production up for pretty much all of the early game, most of the mid game. Now taking these watchtowers to keep that good map control, and he's going to be scouting with the barracks, I guess. Not really much use for proxy barracks at this point in the game. Now getting them double Hellions out. How much damage are they doing to light now? 24 versus light, so it's only 2 shots. So 2 Hellions, 1 shot probe, or they're actually, yes, they do 1 shot in SCV. Thermal Lance getting about 60% finished now as Colossus ready, continuing to warp in those good gateway units. Hiding a forge here. I don't think he's quite hiding it, but he is chrono boosting the upgrades, so it's always good. Terran is going to be behind any upgrades. He should be trying to get those out as well, unless he wants to upgrade his mech more, but he doesn't even have an armor yet, so he's not going to be doing that at this point in time. Now the barracks, just scouting, make sure Protoss doesn't try and ninja an expo over here. Maybe he just didn't want that barracks in his base anymore. He just said, "Get out of here, barracks," and just made him sit over there and was crying in the corner. Because as being a bad barracks, he wasn't producing Marines enough. Now, Protoss might be going for another expand, or just a pile in there, I guess. Probably not a bad time. I wouldn't think it's a bad time for Protoss to be expanding. He's got 2 Colossus out, and Terran has mostly siege tanks. But Protoss doesn't know that he's getting the crazy Hellions out yet. That crazy amount of Hellions, but that is quite a potent force at this point in time. But I don't think it would be too bad for him to expand sometime soon for the Protoss anyway. But he's going to have to be careful of these Hellions. They absolutely roast that Zealot. Zealot's not going to do much, chucking down an extra 2 gateways, and now getting that charge, so making this really potent force against tanks. With the charge and the Colossi out of range. Because the charge lots can just get in real nice and close to those siege tanks and just make mince metal out of them. Now Hellions taking that watchtower, killing off Zealots wherever they can. Probably going to be picking off this pylon and this probe. Protoss should quickly just get in there and kill these Hellions before they do any more mischief. Now, level 1 attacks and charge finishing. I'm guessing the Protoss might want to try attack as charge finishes because it's not really a defensive ability. So I'm not sure if he wants to try and attack when charge finishes or if he wants to just secure another expansion. Now going for the ground and going for his 3rd Colossus, keeping them Colossus safe in the back. Good to be chrono boosting those, but he should be building a few more probes. He's not gonna, if he wants to try and expand now, which he might actually be doing, he probably won't be able to saturate all 3 bases to their full capacity. This one's almost mined out, so he should be actually okay. Now getting Blink out as well, making full use of his Twilight Council. While Terran secures his 3rd, and Protoss goes to secure his 3rd. So now do it. Yes. Okay. Looks like he just wants to go somewhere else. Is he trying to put an expert down somewhere else? Why is Protoss saving up all this money? What's this probe doing? He is going to die to a Hellion. That is what this probe is doing. So I'm not sure if he was trying to scout of that or what, but he really should be chucking down expert here. Now no engagements yet at all. No true engagements. They've just been macroing up. They're both on 3 bases. I guess no one thinking it's an opportune moment to attack, but Terran in a somewhat better position because he's going to have this 3rd up a lot earlier than Protoss. I don't know what he's doing, saving up all his money. Did he go, what's his APM? Did he go AFK? What's he doing? Something must be wrong on the Protoss side. Luckily, thankfully now he's chucking down that extra Nexus. I would recommend maybe a cannon or 2 near the mineral line or near these ramps just to somewhat fend off these annoying little Hellions. Though keeping the upgrades going is good. He should be getting level 2 attacks after that finishes. I would recommend chucking down even more factories to just really pump out an insane amount of tanks or Hellions, whatever he chooses. And now this 3rd is going to be up and running pretty soon. Finally, here's this observer in there for the good scouting, and he's also got the observer speed, so observers can go ridiculously fast. I love observers with speed, and war prisms with speed for that matter. Getting a Dark Shrine and a Templar Archive out now. So they're not really doing that much here. He is getting this cannon out here, they just want to tech up to the max. So I mean Protoss is generally stronger than Terran in the late game, since Terran is ridiculously strong early game against Protoss, though he didn't try do anything really early. Hellions coming in for some harassment, trying to fight this thing, but sadly this is armoured and it will be able to take out a fair amount of silly Hellions trying to fight. They don't even get down. So absolutely no loss to the Protoss. Well, a few Zealots might die here now. There goes a probe. Just swarming with that charge, just flying absolutely. They should try and poke off that Hellion. Don't know what that pylon's doing there. Maybe just getting ready to start a little wall against Hellions or to chuck another expansion now, but really should be transferring some of these probes and a few of these and chrono boosting out more to this expert because